So some things are just not. Hold on. Okay, so some things are just not. You just don't want to lose sleep over. I'm trying to figure out how to get this out of my system, but some things you just don't want to lose sleep over and stuff like that. You just can't lose sleep over certain things and certain aspects of life. Sometimes you just got to lay your head down and go to sleep and to get rest. I mean, I should be sleeping probably until 10 o'clock, but I'm up at like 7 o'clock this morning, but should have maybe slept until 10 o'clock or so. Um, but um, yeah. So I ended up basically, losing my main publishers. So I ended up losing one of my main publishers who I was working with on her projects and stuff to get myself published and stuff and etc. when it came to my poetry. So um still don't know why that is. I mean, I'm not going to hold on to it and hold on to it and hold on to it, but the thing I wanted to address was, I mentioned last night that there was something about a manager or something, or about me having an incident with like a famous person or another artist that was, that I was almost prominently friends with, which I've talked about multiple times. That I was almost friends with a famous artist and an artist that had a well known following and stuff like that. That there was some misunderstanding and some other stuff regarding my mental health where I overreacted. I said a little more things than just cursing him out, and because I said a little more than just cursing him out, I ended up almost getting into serious trouble for that. Um, I wasn't thinking. My head was imbalanced and etc. But regardless, he let me go. He let me go. They let me go. They didn't really press charges or nothing. They said, they wished me the best, but they distanced themselves, right? So they were distancing themselves and they wished me the best. So they haven't been in my life for a very long time, right? Um, so they're distance, and they haven't been in my life, and it's been probably about like 10 or 15, probably about almost like 10 or 15 years now since this incident had happened. 10 or 15 years since the incident had happened, where I overreacted and almost cursed out, basically one of my most favorite heroes. I almost overreacted and cursed out him, and I think him and the manager were very surprised. I think a lot of people were very surprised, but and the point being is that I'm not holding on to anything from 10 years ago. I'm not holding on to anything from 10 to 15 years ago. I'm not holding on to it like I have to have some animosities and gripes and problems. I mean, obviously, maybe in some people's eyes, what had happened might have been severe or could have been more severe because of my words and because of how I chose to use my words when I was upset. But um, basically, everybody knows I'm a good person. I'm a good guy, but I do struggle with my mental health. I do struggle with things. I do struggle with things in life and etc. I'm flawed. I mean, I'm flawed. I'm imperfectly perfect. Me, I'm imperfect, but it makes me perfect. My imperfections make me perfect to who I am. So I'm imperfectly perfect. Me, so I can't change, my flaws or my imperfections or the past for that matter. I can't change the past, but just because something happened almost 10 to 15 years ago, where a manager might have some issues with me because of something that happened, which was a huge misunderstanding, and everybody has things they want to say about stuff and stuff like that. Um that there were a lot of issues and things with that and stuff. Um, so I don't know if that manager still has connections to some other people and is still holding on to different things and still holding on to different gripes and things, because I'm obviously with have connections to other poets and things, and other people that might have connections to other poets and stuff that other poets and stuff that they work with. I mean, I always knew it could be a possibility for a potential questioning of something that needed to be addressed, but I didn't think it would be like a bunch of drama and stuff if that was ever the case, that I was going to have to be put into drama and bullshit um, because of that situation. I didn't want to bring any more drama and bullshit to my life, or have to lose any more friends or any more connections because of a stupid mistake in the past I made when I was a lot younger. I'm only getting older. I was a lot younger when I made mistakes, and that was a really big one that obviously kind of really did not do well to my mental health or help be part of some things that did not do well to my mental health. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I had a problem with Joseph Arthur, where I kind of did a little more than curse him out almost 10 years ago when I was friends with him, or almost friends with him and getting to know him. I almost cursed out Joseph Arthur because it was over a female. It was something stupid. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't getting rest. I wasn't doing well. My head wasn't leveled, and situations weren't good. But the problem is, I'm not holding on to any of the gripes and animosities and things when it comes to, when it comes to the bad parts of life and the bad parts of that situation. I mean, if people still want to hold on to it and say, "Well, I'm not letting him go near any other person. I'm not letting him go near another artist or another celebrity or this and that," it's like, can I fucking live? I mean, I'm never gonna know. I'm never gonna probably talk to Joseph Arthur again face to face. That's just not gonna happen. I mean, that was probably told to me a long time ago that he had to distance himself. So obviously, there's obviously, a realization there that he just doesn't want to be near me, and I can't be near. He doesn't, it's just not a good idea to be near him and stuff like that. So, um, but, um, for the most part, though, I mean, it wasn't like Joseph held a lot of anger and stuff towards me. Actually, Joseph was very surprised when I kind of cursed him out. That was a huge situation between me and Joseph that I don't know if I should be telling everybody or if that should be, if that should have been private. But as far as me as an artist, I still think it has a looming shadow over me as an artist when it came to me working with who I'm trying to work with and the other poets and stuff. Like maybe like Patti Smith and stuff. Because I know I was part of the National Beat Poetry Foundation Festival up until the point that the CEO deleted me. The CEO deleted me, and without a second thought, without an explanation. So I'm assuming I just lost my contract with the National Beat Poetry Festival, which was one of the main and last two poetry festivals or poetry connections that I had connections to get published. So, um, she and Debbie of the National Beat Poetry Foundation just recently thanked me for being on her projects and thanked me for being a part of her projects and etc. So I can't sit here with animosities and gripes and anger in my heart because I have a lot of anger towards the state, but the state and I have, different issues, and we've had different issues way before Joseph Arthur. Me and the state of Connecticut and mental health issues had tons of issues. I mean, and tons of issues before Joseph Arthur and before all this artist stuff. There was a lot of issues already in place in my skeletal closet with the state of Connecticut and other things that were personally plaguing me that I needed to work out through therapy and other things in life. I'm not sitting here holding gripes towards Joseph. I mean, I ended up letting it go and I ended up just living my life. I mean, I said, hey, why not still listen to Joseph? Because Joseph was obviously a friend of yours, and Joseph was very surprised, and he obviously wished me peace and he wished me healing when that actually happened, when I was actually angry and upset and kind of but this happened over 10, 15 years ago, so I'm not holding on to something old that was almost dead and done like 10, 15 years ago. But I know the manager might sit there kind of upset and kind of cocked and stuff when it comes to not letting me do this or not letting me go near this and stuff like that. That could always be a problem. That could always be a situation. I don't know per se if that's really going to happen or not. I don't know if that's really factual or really the truth, but I think there's a lot of people talking and stuff about things and saying things that are not right. I mean, I've messaged my friends in the Northwest Arts Council too, and I messaged them about John Noki, and I messaged them about Taquanas, and they never said a single word to me. My friend Steph at the Northwest Arts Council. So there's a lot of secretiveness. There's a lot of things people aren't saying, and so there's things that people aren't saying, and etc. when it comes to stuff. And honestly, I blocked Steph. I mean, I waited about like a few weeks to a month, and I ended up blocking Steph Burr and her husband from my Instagram because that's the only place they were following me. I actually deleted them a while ago, thinking they would realize that they were deleted from my Facebook, thinking they could get it together and maybe want to come back in and like figure out what was wrong. But she might not have the time for it. She might not have the time for it. She might not have, she might not have the, she might not even care because she has her career. She has a lot more going. She had a lot more going for her than I did. But when it comes to me trying to build and stuff, nobody seems to care about me trying to build or me trying to grow and prosper as an artist. There's always like a lot of interference and people trying to get in the way of that, and it just seems to be one more thing after another. I don't know what to say to my mental health workers on Monday because I got to make it until Monday until my mental health workers come in. And I mean, obviously, it's still a week before Christmas, and this is the greatest Christmas present anybody could ever give me to fuck me over. Say, here you go, Carl. You're not connected to the National Beat Poetry Foundation anymore. All the work and all the effort you put in is just like a fuck you. So it's like, okay, yeah, thanks. So I'm at that point where I'm just like shrugging my shoulders and saying, okay. I did get sleep last night. I'm not losing sleep over this. I'm not, I'm tempted to almost spend the holidays to myself. I mean, I got a roast and stuff. I'm almost tempted to spend the holidays to myself though. I'm almost tempted to just take my money and buy some books or something, or buy some books or do something with the money I have, and just sit here and not go with the state, not do anything, but sit here with my roast for the holidays next weekend and just sit and just be by myself. But nobody wants me to be by myself for the holidays. But I don't want to be with the fucking state of Connecticut for the holidays. I don't want to be with the fucking state of Connecticut. I don't want to be with the fucking state of Connecticut for a lot of things in life, but here I am. But anyways, I'm at that point where it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to hold any animosities. I don't know what people are saying. I don't know what people are doing. There's probably a lot of lies to my face when it comes to my mental health workers that they're not sometimes they're not previous to information and stuff. Sometimes they're not previous to the, different things. And, obviously I told people I don't want to be sent backwards and stuff like that. When it comes to my mental health, I'm going in a certain direction, and I don't want to be sent backwards. And that was my biggest gripe with everybody. But unfortunately, me losing the National Beat Poetry Foundation as a publisher and as a connection, I guess, is still very much a setback. It's a huge setback, and it's a huge problem to my mental health. It really is a huge problem to my mental health, and a really big setback. But obviously, if I'm meant to lose it, I'm meant to lose it. I mean, obviously, I would have assumed it was only going to be one publisher when it was actually said. But somebody said that I am meant to lose some things. I am meant to lose some things, and it's just meant to be. I can't necessarily stop it. I can't necessarily stop the wheels from turning. I have no words to say. I mean, I'm just like, okay. Everybody's gonna have to. I'm sure everybody's questioning if they're gonna be safe or not, if they're gonna be okay with me. And the question is, I don't know. It depends on how you come at me from this point forward, because I am triggered. I am absolutely triggered. I'm not gonna let myself feel that trigger. I'm not gonna acknowledge that trigger most of the weekend because I don't want to sit here and just go off. But I should be very much triggered at this point. And the thing is, I'm just like, still breathing with the knives in my back, still breathing with all the bullshit and, the betrayals and all the bullshit and shit that has happened, to me as an artist, a writer, and etc., So, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I would like to do maybe do some self-publishing and stuff like that. I wish I knew how to do self-publishing. I wish I knew how to, make that happen and stuff like that. But I don't really know how to do that. I don't really know how to look into that and stuff. But I wish I did, because I would totally make a poetry book and just, do one on my own and not really worry about anything else and just have my shit published, So, anyways, I'm at the point now where it's just like I have no words for this whole thing with the arts and stuff and the local business and etc. It's just gotten really out of hand, and a lot of the out of handness is just a lot of mostly everybody else. I mean, I just walked away from Taquanas and I just started doing my own thing and just giving myself space and just hanging out with my neighbors and not really trying to give too much emphasis on the drama of the arts and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, other people in the arts want to escalate stuff. They might want to create more drama. They might want to do more bullshit with that. So if they do, then they do. I mean, it's not my call. But I mean, as far as me being tied up in drama, I mean, there's a lot of drama and shit going on that, especially when it comes to like my artistic stuff and stuff that I might not know about or something, and it has nothing to do with me because I've been sitting here quietly just trying to do my thing. I mean, the only thing I have really issues with is the state of Connecticut, which I've said it before, and there's reasons for that. There's reasons for that because I was trying to go forward, especially as an artist with the poetry and the art and stuff, but. Obviously something was said or something had to be said or something had to be conveyed that, obviously is now getting in the way of me as an artist. So, but yes, Joseph Arthur and I were almost very good friends. I mean, that's a story I don't always want to talk about, but, Joseph and I are not really like talking face to face, but I mean, I still follow Joseph. I still see what he does, and I still take a lot of inspiration from Joseph. I mean, some people are not happy that I still do and stuff like that because of the scenario and situation. I mean, obviously, neither Joseph nor the manager at the time really knew who I was totally. They knew who I was, but they didn't know who I was totally. So it's very hard for them to say whether I really meant to really overreact the way that I did or not. But they were gonna know me, and I think a woman that was also a Canadian, and she now has a dual citizenship, and in Massachusetts with her family and the kids and stuff, which I think is kind of wrong because there was some issues where I didn't know about the kids and stuff, and I didn't know that she had another person involved, and it caused a lot of drama that she was hiding shit like that from me and stuff like that, especially played in the realm of Joseph Arthur. But regardless, I'm not holding on to the animosities and things, and she knew that right before I was going to become friends with Joseph Arthur possibly, and I was trying to get to know Joseph Arthur and things were going to get off the ground that she was, she ruined it. She took the opportunity to try to ruin it or try to, manipulate my head or something to try to see how far she could push my buttons and see if I would snap or do something stupid. And then when I finally snapped and did something stupid because of her toxicity, because she was very toxic, and I overreacted and said some things to Joseph, I obviously, was called crazy. I was actually called a lunatic. I was actually called insane. I was actually called a lot of shit that, being judged by a woman that was very toxic to me and was actually one of the sources of me being absolutely nuts in the first place. But regardless of the fact that this happened almost 10 to 15 years ago, and I'm not holding on to drama and gripes or anything. I still think I should have a poetry career. I think I should still be able to, read and write poetry and be able to, publish poetry and stuff. But as I said before, that person might have a lot going on with family and stuff. It might have nothing to do with me, but then again, there's always that factor too that I knew that if I was to get involved as an artist and stuff, if I was to climb up the ladder and stuff like that, that there was gonna be issues with other maybe other artists and stuff regarding maybe management and some stuff like that because of some stuff of the past that I really wasn't gonna hold on to and really have gripes with or be upset with, but but people do. People have really damaged my chances at being an artist and etc. And there's probably a lot being said behind the scenes, and I don't know what's being said. I don't know what's being talked about, but I know it's happening. I do know it's happening. I know because the way people are acting. I mean, why would I just be randomly deleted and not be told anything? There's something that was said to her. There's something that she's going through or something. Who knows? But I'm not holding on to it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. My glasses are fucking filthy. I can't look at the camera because my glasses are fucking filthy. I need to clean these. The light is bad. Anyways, I need to clean my glasses. My glasses are fucking filthy. I probably should just clean them so I can look at the camera. But, anyways, I'm at that point now where it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, whatever, Anyways, peace.